See, beautifully wrapped. No one's going to appreciate this level of wrapping. Hello, I'm Robin Vincent and welcome to Molten Modular. Today I'm embarking on a beautifully wrapped little project that should take about 3 minutes. Well, I don't know, something like that. It's just a small, weeny little module from a company called Eurorack Essentials. Now, with that sort of name, I would normally presume that it would be stuff that I know all about. But as it happens, I don't really completely understand anything that they do particularly, but I'm going to give it a bit of a go. I mean, this one, I think I can grasp it. It's called a DualSwitch. The idea being that you pump something in, could be a left and a right, could be 2 channels of control voltage, and then at a touch of a button it switches and goes the other way or the other way around. Apparently you can have endless fun with stereo with this sort of thing, things that I hadn't really considered. And also my Eurorack isn't particularly stereo in any respect, but switching sequences, yeah, I can see that. Switching modulations, yeah, I can see that. So, or, you know, I'll drop it into the signal chain around my stereo send on the mixing part. Maybe that will throw some light into what this could possibly do. But Eurorack Essentials is the brainchild of Frederick Lipp out in Hamburg, and he has a passion for all things stereo and a passion for all things interesting, despite the slightly misleading Eurorack Essentials kind of tag. Although they do stamp on all their boxes that this is not going to be your first module, which is interesting. So it's not as if they don't understand the concept of something that's essential, or the assumption that that's something which is usual and common. It's just they're playing with that idea. They're toying with that idea. They're saying that this stuff is going to become essential as soon as you work out how the heck you're supposed to use it in anything. But enough talk. Let's get down to the build. Like I say, beautifully wrapped in orange tissue paper. I have a thing for orange, so that's always going to win me over. And then, look, individual packets. It's just lovely. It's just lovely. So in here, in the Enjoy bag, you know, it's not bag A, bag B, hardware bag, control bag, it's Enjoy bag. Look, I got a little switch. Oh, I can't. There you go. Presumably that's the thing that does the switching. So I've got one of those. Got a little card on the back of which is taped the PCBs. Nice. See, beautifully wrapped. No one's going to appreciate this level of wrapping. It will just come straight off, but it is a lovely thing. Whoa. That's such a weighty front panel. It's thick as well, actually. They stand a little bit proud in my Eurorack, or at least the finished model does. And this is the actual PCB in here somewhere. There's probably a better way to unwrap it that I haven't quite mastered. Oh, just ruining everything. Okay, there we go. There it is. It's all about patching, it says on the back. Nice, it's got little things like build date and buy. You could, you know, write things on it to say that you built it if you had tiny fingers and a tiny pen. Then in another bag, oops, I've got some knurlies. Excellent, that's always good. You can tell it's a premium product when they include knurlies. Some patch sockets and some stickers. That's your lot. Look at that. Make sure I've got everything. Yep. So what do we actually have? We've got a little PCB, got a faceplate, got a bunch of switches and some sockets. Is that it? Is that really it? That's quite stunning. So let's have a look at the guide. The online guide will tell us what's going on. It says it's a perfect kit for people who are starting out. And Frederick suggests that you send pictures of the assembled module, or even a bit of a video showing off the build time. And if you go along to Superbooth 21 next year, in the future. He'll give you a beer and a 10% discount for any assembled module, and maybe even a job offer. Very interesting. Says for him, soldering is like meditation, almost like making music, cycling, dancing, sleeping, dreaming, eating, love, cooking and sex. Alright then, do not print this PDF, he says. Okay, right. So assembled module looks like that. Oh yeah, right. So yeah, those are gonna, yeah, okay. And it comes with this, one switch, bunch of things and some knurlies. Good. We'll need a soldering iron, he says. Right. Now it says attach the 6 audio jacks to the PCB. Don't solder them yet. Maybe use some tape, he says. Oh, you know how I'm terrible at doing that. So I'm just going to stick those on there. Oh yeah, they're not going to stay on, are they? Well, let's do it anyway. Oh, no, I've come to a stop. Oh, there we go. There, super. Attached front panel to the audio jacks. Oh, okay. So this way round, I'm assuming. That's not going to work because one of them has a nut on it, honestly. Now, what they're saying is that we put this on, we do it up, and then we solder on the other side. But then he's suggesting we take it all apart to put the switch in. Why don't we put the switch in why don't we put the switch in now? Would there be anything bad about doing that? I don't think so. So if I were to put the switch in now, like that, does it have to go any particular way around? Don't think so. So I'm just going to do it seat of my pants on there. I'm going to regret this now, aren't I? That goes there. They'll go on top. Ooh. Put that on. Now I'm not at all worried that I have one more than I thought. Great. I think. Now all I've got to do, solder the fella. Ah, you see, got it, because when I turn this over, I'm not going to be able to solder it because the flipping switch is poking up. Right, okay. See, they know what they're doing. Whereas I don't clearly know what I'm doing. So I need to put this on something so I can solder it. You know, something plastic that's going to melt. That's the idea. Let's stick it on the back of a TC Electronics Sky Surfer. That's definitely the way forward. Right, what am I soldering? Oh, a bunch of stuff. Okay. I don't know about you, but I seem to be doing this really awkwardly. I guess because it's a bit small. Maybe I need it clamped to something. I'm not used to doing 3 HP modules. You use a ton of solder in these big holes here. Cool, now I've just got the little switch end to do. And it says with these you need to take a little bit more care because they're a bit heat independent. I don't know what that means or how to do that. All I know is that you have to heat things up to solder them. I guess don't take too long about it. Maybe that's the answer. Yeah, it all looks alright except for this second one here. Maybe this one. Cool. There we go. That should be it. So yeah, that's the fella. Bit of a dual switch, completely passive, nothing going on. It's just going to switch. It's just like a junction box for two rails of stuff. Let's plug it in and see if I can make it do something. So here is our dual switch in situ. I've taken the output from the black stereo delay, which is kind of my only stereo source. I've no idea how well this is going to work, and this normally goes back into the send return on the mixer. So if I plug that in here, the idea is that what comes in here will get flipped left and right, reversed. I mean, according to the little manual here, that little manual, which is super, it's a dual switch. Works great with any audio or CV signal. Send signals A plus B with the dual switch to outputs 1 and 2 and outputs B 1 and 2. So I can put a stereo in here and they can emerge out of here and out of here. It's like splitting and creating two stereo channels for sending to other effects. You know, that's interesting. But if nothing's plugged into the bottom, then these two here will flip. That's what it says. Does that sound, what does that sound like? Well, I don't know. So let's turn the return all the way up. So I've got it in ping pong mode. I flip the switch. I have no idea, sadly, whether that's doing anything or not. Let me plug in some headphones. Yeah, well, that's certainly doing that. It's certainly doing it. I just don't know how best to demonstrate it because I just have nothing within my rack that's really stereo, only the output of effects. I don't have anything else that I can, I mean, I don't know. I can put two different things into it and then switch them. Yeah, okay, I can do that. So let me think about this for a second. I know. I've had a brainwave. He's had a brainwave. Stand by. Right, I'll take a clock into the compass over here. Have that running a couple of things. Then I've got two different drums. Two different drum sounds. Plug them into here. then rather than using them as a return, I'm going to put them into two individual channels, one of which I'm going to put on masses of reverb and delay, and the other one not. And then with the flick of the switch, it should change there. It should switch the signals in my mixer. So I've got it plugged into a mixer over here into two channels. So when it switches, it'll switch those over, so the other one will get the effects. Yeah? Getting all of that? Yeah, see, getting the concept, that works. Alright, so let's take the sequence that's coming out of the quantizer into the hats. Let's put that into one of these. And let's put in another sequence. To the other side. To plug my sequence back in to here. Yeah, nice. Of course, this is not sending two sequences to one device. This is sending two sequences to two devices. So I have to think a little bit more. Alright, that's going to have to go into something like the Bafako up there, the even VCO. I have to take the output of that into something, and then back into another channel. Flick, it should reverse the sequences so they go to the other module. Well, how lovely is that? That's just completely sublime. What a thing. What a simple, perfect, essential little thing. I mean, it helps a bit when I get it in tune, I suppose. It's just a simple switch. I mean, you can do it. There's other switches I have. Proper Eurorack sequence of switches within my Eurorack. But just to be able to swap two things like that, two forms of modulation, two forms of tune, you know, it doesn't have to be a sequence. It could be modulation to two different things, swapping those about. It's just interesting, isn't it? I think so. And it's completely passive. That's just lovely. They do other things as well. Like I say, they do these flips and switches which do a similar thing, where you can press a button and do it by a control voltage, so it's not a passive. You can have active versions of these sorts of switches. They do all sorts of matrix bits and pieces. They do this, which is, it's essentially a bottom end killer. So you can plug in and patch into here, and it will drop the signal by 18 dB at 160 Hz, 100 Hz, 50 Hz, 30 Hz, etc. below. It just cuts out the bottom end. Again, it's completely passive. You just drop it in there. If you've got a problem with boomy modules or whatever, you can just run it through here and it will cut a whole load of the bottom end out. Fantastic. Simple. Essential. Yeah? Nice. Well, that was a quick little project. It didn't take me very long to solder it together. But what a useful little thing. Great, I'm loving that. Thanks very much, Eurorack Essentials. Well, there you have it. And in the meantime, go make some tunes.